Hello and welcome. Thank you for taking the time to watch these interview sessions. We are in the midst of the fourth industrial revolutions, or Industry 4.0, which is transforming the industry worldwide through automations, artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, big data, and blockchain. In the field of computing, accounting, and finance, these advancements are revolutionizing how data is processed, analyzed, and utilized. It enhancing decision-making, improving operational efficiency, and enabling the real-time data, which is the financial insights, to be transferred and automations. Looking ahead, Industry 5.0 is emerging to complement the transformations of the industry by emphasizing the human-centric solutions and collaboration between humans and intelligent systems, sustainability, and resilient. This next phase integrates the efficiency of Industry 4.0 technologies with human creativity and critical thinking that further shapes the future of computing and finance in a more inclusive and personalized ways. We are honored to be joined by an esteemed panel of experts who will share their insights on these developments. We are pleased to welcome Mr. Lim Chee Seong, an experienced accountancy and finance specialist. To our panel, he will be sharing insights on the financial challenges and strategic considerations involved in adopting Industry 4.0 innovations within the logistics sectors. Mr. Lim is currently Director of the Culturistic 𝐁𝐫𝐢𝐝𝐻𝐿 and formerly served as the Executive Director and Chief Financial Officer at GD Express 𝐁𝐫𝐢𝐻𝐿, bringing with him extensive expertise from the logistics and financial industries. Hi, Mr. Lim.
Hi.
So today we'll begin with our interview. So Industry 4.0 has been implemented in Malaysia for several years now. In your opinion, which stage are we actually in terms of Industry 4.0 adoptions, and then particularly within the logistics sectors? And then furthermore, are we financially and operationally prepared for the transition into Industry 5.0, which emphasizes the human-machine collaborations, sustainability, and personalized services?
Okay, thank you. Okay, I think Industry 4.0 was initiated by the government in 2018. Okay,
Yeah.
So I think at this moment, whether it's mature or not, I think it's about moderate. I think about 40 to 60%. Okay, so for logistics industry. So logistics industry actually is quite mature at this stage for the Industry 4.0. So I think Industry 4.0 talking about the automation, okay, the robotic, all these things. So for my opinion, that I'll say certain big organizations like MNC, public listed company, yes, I think most of them work towards Industry 4.0. Okay, unfortunately, some SMEs still yet to be ready for that. Okay, yeah. So in terms of financial side, I think it's very challenging. Okay, for Industry 4.0 also, because I think the cost of investment is very heavy. Okay, especially like example in logistics sector. So you talk about automation, so robotic. So whether the management of the organization willing to spend that kind of investment or not. Okay, example like come across a company that they invest in this auto sorting hub. Okay, they spend about most like 13 million. For this fund, you talk about from the small SME or any other company may not able to do it. Okay, so but this is a public listed company. So about 13 million, yes. So all in plus automate system, design, everything is more come to 20 million. So it's very challenging for those companies really want to go for automation.
To afford that.
Yeah, to afford that. In fact, for the automation, I would say that Industry 4.0 is moderate. But if I look back for the 20 years ago, sorry to say that, I went to Singapore, okay, visit one of the warehouse. Yeah. Surprising, 20 years ago, they already have the automation.
20 years ago.
So even now we talk about automation in logistics, right? Talk about pick and pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, even you can do the warehouse management system, so you can trace all those goods where are there. But you still need human to pick and pack. You're not mistaken.
Yes.
Yes. But in Singapore, 20 years ago, they use a robot to pick the item already. So as I imagine during the time I said, wow, 20 years ago, no. So how I want the Singapore? I think for the Malaysia Industry 4.0, even say in the moderate stage, I think still a lot to catch up before reaching the so-called the Industry 5.0.
Not fully prepared.
Not fully prepared. I think a lot, as SME, the small logistics company, I think they're not fully prepared for that. Okay, and towards whether they are ready for the Industry 5.0, I think more challenging. So I think Industry 5.0 talking about the cobalt, how the cooperate between the robot and the human. So now a lot of people talking about AI also. Yes, I think Industry 5.0 emphasize on the human-centric statistic. Okay,
Yes.
So talk about sustainability, ESG. So how are we going to incorporate all these elements into the so-called the automation or Industry 4.0 follow-up? Yeah. So it's very challenging. So Industry 5.0 talk about ESG, but in the currently the market, how many companies really emphasize on ESG? So example, maybe MMC yes, some of the listed companies yes, but I want to emphasize one thing here. Yes, ESG become very important right now. I think if you work in the PKD logistics, so I think Datuk Seri Michael Teo has been, I think the first one to initiate all this, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because now the ESG is very important, SDG, all these things. So a lot, I think public listed company for the Bursa requirement, so they put in the compliance already. Could be mandatory one day, so need to comply under the government. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what happened right now? A lot of the company, when the government, when the government initiate the Industry 4.0 time, talk about green or even ESG, talk about green environment.
Yeah.
A lot of companies try to follow. Okay, how they follow? Okay, I just buy a EV, not the truck, the motorbike.
Motorbike.
Yeah, so without thinking or consider whether this EV motorbike can be really performance like the normal truck or normal motorcycle or not. So just for the sake of support government green initiative, so they bought the EV motorcycle. But whether the performance actually is, we test it out, is out of the performance.
Not that efficient, like
Less than efficient. Less efficient, they only use suitable for the garden delivery, for example. So just because of support the government initiative again, I just bought, but without consider what's the cost like. Okay, I want support. See? But eventually, if you're not careful, you can support this, but your cost will increase. Example, let's say your green motorbike will become a white elephant one day. So you're not using it. So your depreciation cost, your maintenance cost will be eat into your financial performance.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's like I would say that Industry 5.0 will still in the very nascent stage. This one is still very nascent in the sense that need a lot of education and awareness created for those SME, even the big company. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Alright, thank you. So we'll move on to our next questions. So how does Industry 5.0 influence the way financial planning is done in logistics companies?
Okay, Industry 5.0 talk about this ESG, all these things, right? So straight to AI. Okay, what happened, example like Bank Negara right now. Okay, if you really want to get a loan or financing from the bank, so they accept, Bank Negara accept the ruling that you might have a ESG compliant.
Yeah.
Okay, not that easy. Okay, that's why I think a lot of SME who maybe got intention want to go for ESG, SDG or thing, may be facing a lot of challenge in terms of funding.
Yes.
Okay, so of course on top of that they talk about the funding side, unless the Internal General Fund. Also, back to the first question again. So many companies really keen to initiate this SDG at this moment. So because the cost incurs very huge. Example like talk about EV truck. You're going to convert all your current truck to a EV truck.
It will be very costly.
Very costly. So EV truck then also then the manpower side. Say how going to upskill or reskill the manpower.
Has to be training.
Training. So understand about the whole what's the ESG for, SDGs for, all these things. So another thing is the IT side. Okay, example, how are you going to have the system to track all those ESG comparison? Example like your green energy, okay, your EV, the fuel consumption. How are you going to track this? So you can also like using human to track one by one like that, is it? So you need a system. So I think system, yes, in the market right now we have, but it's still very challenging to get one very good system. Yeah, this is what I think of the financial side. So definitely the initial cost to implement the ESG SDG is very high. Okay, so of course this will have to go for long term kind of the.
So the challenges are mostly on the cost.
Yeah, cost, also the people side also. So how to train the people.
Cost and time.
Yeah.
Okay, understood. Okay, thank you. So what are the cost implications of adopting advanced technologies in the logistics industry?
Okay.
To steal the cost.
I think steal the cost. Okay, I think first the fuel consumption. So beyond you convert the EV truck. Okay, again I just mentioned that how you compare. Definitely you need a comparison. Okay, this is when you convert to EV. What's your traditional truck? Only serve the purpose of objectives, right? So let's say I just do EV truck, but we are looking the historical data about your traditional truck. So you won't know where are you. So the cost side, I think okay, the EV is one of the costly thing. Okay, beside that, what's the EV truck is call it capital expenditure. So capital expenditure means it's not about fixed asset cost. Okay, so fixed asset cost like capital expenditure, I think the EV is one of them. Then the other thing is the system, again, system. How you do upgrade your system together for all these measurement, together for all these measurement. So on top of this, the operating cost. Okay, so operating cost is something that you charge it out to your profit and loss account. Okay, you're for accounting, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so operating cost, for example, your EV, what's your maintenance cost for your EV truck? When are you going to replace your battery? The battery lifespan can for how long?
Long-term things.
Yeah, so this is a lot of cost element we need to look into it. Example, in the manpower, example, driving EV. Some people think that it's very easy, or even like automation of certain machinery, whatever. So for the manpower side, we need to upskill. Training. Time training, time consuming, then the training cost. Okay. So of course you also need to get the right people. Okay, example, especially in the IT side. So you get someone don't have the later IT knowledge or update on development, so they'll face a challenge. So what happened right now? A lot of companies they foresee this IT trend. It's very good. So everybody rush into I want to diversify in the IT, but they forgot their forte actually is in the logistics. Okay, so they somehow to divert their business to other things, so may affect the overall the business performance also. Okay, costing side, the other thing is when you implement all these things, you're bound to have need to stop the operation, right? Because you need to develop, redo a lot of things, changes, example like auto sorting hub. So you need to stop certain operation for a few days or something like that. So this will be call it sunk cost also. The operation cost will be affected. So indirect will eat into the profit and loss again. So these are the costs that, on top of that, your cybersecurity costs. So you have all this IT thing, okay, but you don't forget your cybersecurity. Okay, you're not capable, some can hack in. So certain costs that you need to have very sophisticated control, the storage system of your data, everything. So all these costs, I think, for the small SME, again, very, very challenging. And for the MNC, I think most of MNC, big giant, I think they already have all this in place. I think it shouldn't be any major problem for them. But for some of the listed companies, they are still struggling to do this. So a lot of people thought that, I want to change the ERP system. Okay, ERP system, yes. So you can change it for the better, the flow of the data, all these things. But a lot of people just want to say, hey, I want to rush it up. I'll do it within 6 months. Do you think possible?
No.
So from conventional accounting, you suddenly want to change it to ERP system, full ERP system. So a lot of studying needed. So time consuming again, the manpower coming in again. So for finance, for example, so you need to allocate or assign one team to really look into all this process. The other thing is the timing is so important. And when you want to convert the ERP system, don't do it when you come to auditing time. Okay, so important, we must set a priority, which one to come first. Or else, I think we'll come across the experience that during audit, they also want to change the ERP system. so all cash. So now the face of challenge in conclude the finalize the whole audit financial statement. Especially in the public listed company, it is no joke. So they're about to have a lot of penalized from the Bursa itself. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, how can companies measure the return on investments when implementing all these smart logistics solutions?
Okay, I think very common. ROI, return on investment or return on assets. It's two things. So return on investment, you can look at their cash flow projection, their IRR, okay, your payback period, all these things. Yeah. So very important when come to this stage. Okay, what I wanted to say is before you started want to implement all these things, you need a thorough study or thesis study to evaluate cost benefit analysis.
Yeah.
Cost benefit analysis. So some people just rushing going, oh, okay, I just want it to be done. But eventually, I'll say the penny buy pound foolish in the sense that, okay, you rush it out, but eventually you'll meet your objective or not. So you must study the whole process. So it's important the teamwork, as an example, between finance, IT, operations is very important. So you must see the overall flow from the operation, beginning of operation. Just for example, like courier service, especially delivery. So the moment they do, they get the order from customer, okay, I got pick up this and that. So the driver will go and pick up item. How is it input into the data? Okay, and this data, how is it flow into the billing process? Okay, billing process, how it flow it back to the financial reporting. So this is the study. The whole process is very important. So not like I just stand alone, I do myself, I do my part, you do your part. It's impossible. It's impossible. So it's the teamwork between operation until the end financial side. Okay, so then only can count the final report. That's why people talk about SAP, ERP. I can just do finance part only. Yes, you can do finance part, but at the end of the day, they still need to integrate.
Yeah.
Okay, different system into the main finance system. So it defeats the whole purpose. So my experience, I went do one customization on the SAP. So we really sit down to understand the whole operation flow, okay, the user requirement. So after that, we study from the A to Z, everything in. Then we invite the consultant advisor to come in. Okay, so they will understand the whole flow. Okay, then what we need for our system. Then they will do a study, then come proposal. Okay, whether suit us or not. From there, we only start select the vendor. So then we take time also again. Yeah, after they select customer, okay, they need to program everything, do everything. Again, we need to do a parallel testing everything. So it's not that easy overnight or within 6 months to do it. It's no way. Yeah.
So it takes time.
Yeah. So
have to fully understand that.
So from there, actually, you also need to do a forecast and budgeting. How much you're going to spend for all this investment? For example, you can invest in auto sorting hub. You know they're going to spend 20 million. So how? Are you budgeting into your cash flow, into a profit and loss, all these things? So it's very careful, you need to evaluate all these things. From there only you can start calculating your return of investment, how much. From there, okay, then you need to, a lot of process to get board approval, all these things, before you really start to do it. Yeah.
Okay, understood. Okay, thank you. So our next question is like, what role does sustainability reporting play in Industry 5.0?
Okay, I think we have gone through the SDG game. I think I'm not sure you're doing before or not. So SDG game is something like how you develop, okay, for the nation, okay, from economy, how then become a socialized, government compliant, all these things, and green. Okay, logistic. I think important part right now is the climate change. Okay, because of the carbon dioxide, the emission, all these things, green environment. Okay, and also the in terms of the labour side also. So I think a lot of logistics, I'm not, of course, not for PKT, they engage the foreign labour, all these things. So are they paying well to make sure the poverty have been reduced or not? Thing. So of course, for logistics, important I will look at it is the climate change, impact the climate change, the green environment. Okay, so example like your EV again. So your green environment, your electricity consumption. Okay. So for logistics, I think EV side, yes, your battery is one thing, but everybody think about battery. How are you dispose your battery later?
It's still the e-waste.
Still the waste. Okay, still the waste. Even our energy using may not be a really clean energy also. Okay, so unless in Kuching the Pakun hydro station, that may be a green energy. See? So the impact on the logistics SDG, yes. First thing is the climate. How it goes, the EV, again the EV truck. But unfortunately in Malaysia, I'll say there's not EV truck at this moment. I would say my opinion. Okay. Even I went to Japan for the study, means just a short study in Osaka University. So they're talking about EV, the sustainability. Unfortunately, you see in Japan, even a so advanced country, they really not invest in the EV. What they use is nitrogen. Yeah. So if for the logistics to really comply with the SDG, ESG thing, I think the main cost, the main element is the truck. Okay, so this of course affect the carbon emission, all these things. Yeah.
Okay. So can you explain the challenges the small medium enterprises face when financing their digital transformation in logistics?
Okay, definitely SME were facing a lot of challenge. So okay, first is initiative, whether the SME really want to comply or go for all this green environment or not, or SDG or this thing. I think a lot of SME, the owner, or sorry to say that, the owner or the bosses, the management, say, hey, I just take care of my businesses. Important. Okay? So to them, unless they really foresee they want to grow their business globally or to certain scale, so they got no choice, they need to implement so-called initiate this SDG and ESG. But unfortunately, a lot of SME, I think they are from the family business. Okay, so this one may not important at this moment. Okay, but to them, they are not really, if they don't have an intention to go globally, to go for IPO or all these things, to them, they can hold on. Most of them will hold back this one. So unless they want to do business like with those SDG compliant organizations, example like PKT, so they need to comply to a certain extent already, for sure. So on top of that, the SME side, the main challenge is their funding. For them to actually implement SDG, ESG, thing, not that easy unless internally they got sufficient fund to do it, or else they need to get the fund from bank or this thing. As I mentioned just now, bank also look into the SDG, ESG. Yeah. So you want to get a bank loan? Yes, your company must certain compliance with the ESG. So okay. Besides that, for the SME also, I think the skill set of their staff. So for them to retrain again, to upgrade their staff with knowledge, everything on the ESG, also costly as well, I believe.
Challenging.
So to them, the others just go as normal user first. And then no choice that one day government said, hey, you must do it. Without all this, you may not get the business.
Okay.
Yeah, really, SME side, aside the challenge for the whole implementation of EHSD, I'll say from the SME side, the small logistic company. Even I think you ask them go for Industrial 4.0 automation, there's also another challenge.
A bit challenging.
Don't still talk about the Industrial 5.0, the SDG or anything.
Okay, understood. Okay, thank you. So, are there any government or private grant schemes you recommend for the tech adoption in logistics?
Yes. Okay, except for MIDA. MIDA side, MIDA, there's a grant for that automation for the high-tech equipment, all these things. I think main Naga in this case, there's also one grant as well. Yeah.
Okay.
So again, for those SME to apply this grant, also not that easy because they need to have their financial performance, their project in hand, certain requirement. So it's another, I say, the barrier for those SME to get the grant to initiate all this project. Yeah. Okay.
So how important is financial literacy among operational managers in a modern logistics environment?
Okay. For operation manager, so a lot of most of the time, a lot of organizations, hey, finance nothing to do with me. The operation, I take care of my operation. But in the modern world, okay, nowadays, my opinion is not only operation manager. I think everybody should have some sort of knowledge about the financial and accounting. Okay, so example like operation manager, if you only know operation, move here and there, but people ask you how's the costing, whether you deliver this item, you make profit or not. Of course, they say, oh, this is finance job. But when you do all the operation, when you deal with customer, people ask, hey, so you need to certain extent, you need to calculate, hey, whether this is a profit or not. Okay, then you talk back to your business scope, all these things. So for operation manager example, like you want to implement, automate certain process. Okay, because it impact you ma. So example, auto sorting again, use it. So as an operation manager, from the manual operation, now you want to go for the automation. Okay, so for you, are you going to reduce the manpower or increase the manpower? Example. So from the study, okay, my ex-company, from study, actually, suppose they go for automation, we supposed to reduce at least 15% of the manpower cost. Okay, so if not careful, okay, and end up still maintain the same headcount power cost. So eventually you will defeat the whole purpose of why you go for automation. So it's very challenging. As an operation manager, someone rather need to know some figure or say that. Well, may not indeed. So like finance people, you may need to know some business operation, but may not indeed also. But you need more important, you need to understand the whole process flow. Yeah. Operation manager.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. So, what skills should accounting and finance students focus on if they want to work in the logistics sectors?
Okay. So logistics sector, okay, I think important the cost element. I'll talk about cost element first. Warehousing, motor vehicle, okay, and the manpower. Okay. So these two elements that they need to know, then how these three things can be actually automated or put into ERP system. Okay. So for the accounting staff, example, like they need to upskill themselves. Okay. You know, a lot of people say accounting staff, they know everything. So be it logistics, F&B or anything, I will agree. Generally, yes. But you want to more specific, so you need to understand what is the cost element in the logistics. Okay, so in order for you to have a proper costing, you calculate your cost, how, whether this delivery makes sense or not, or make profit or not. Okay, so you need to understand the operation flow. Okay, from billing to the financial reporting. So on top of that, I think for the accounting student, they need to have a forecast or budget skill. Okay, so as well as cash flow also. So why this is important? Okay, when you implement the so-called automation or SDG, whatever, you need to know CapEx cost. Okay, so how you going to forecast? Okay, where you got the funding to support this CapEx? They say internal fund is not enough. Okay, so on top of that, I think to a certain extent, you need to have a upskill on their IT knowledge as well. Yeah. So I think society that the accounting student or people shouldn't be worried about AI will take over their position. Yeah. So AI, yes, they give you a lot of information, very meaningful information, but somehow to me, certain things you still need people to really analyze. Yeah, AI may be analyzed for you, but indeed, AI would know. So, example, I want to know this operation cost. But AI said, oh, this like that, happily did this. But in detail, I want to know whether this thing profit or not. Unless the data entry can clean everything, then the AI can pick up from there. But how you link your AI to your system? Another challenge. So I think the accounting student, besides the financial accounting knowledge, I think nowadays the trend, you need to have certain IT knowledge. So, especially come to ERP, automation, all these things. Yeah.
IT skills and budgeting and forecasting.
Yeah, I think forecast budgeting is important. Last time when I worked at the time, of course we have a yearly budget. Okay, but yearly budget in the sense that you compile all the subsidiary if you're a group account subsidiary. I think not on top of that, you might have also the business plan. So for the accounting or finance profession, how are you going to link your business plan to your budget and your projection? Because a lot of people say, hey, I do budget very simple. Oh, this year revenue 100 million, I increase 20%. But how are you going to increase 20%? Without looking at your business plan or whatever or strategy. So I'll change 20%, yes. So if let's say I'm the board of director, I will challenge lah. Yeah, 20%, how? So as I work in public listed company, my case example, so the board were interested to know, not the figure. Okay? I'm more interested to know your strategy, your business plan, how you drive the figure. So without strategy and the business plan, you count figure, you can count, I would say just like up from the sky lah. Could be, I don't know, but I say 20% based on past trend, I should increase 20% every year like that. But the board will say, yeah, I agree with you, 20%. Why not you 30%, why not 50%? So you must have a business plan strategy. So how does business strategy come in? So you have a lot of market analysis needed. Okay, example like in the just like PKT. So I think you all started this year something. So how they diversify the business for automobile to F&B, all these things. So these are the strategy plan. Later, how is linking it back to your figure? So you cannot say, I want a figure this and that, but we will challenge how this thing come up. Is it this figure is achievable, attainable, is it realistic or not?
Okay.
Yeah. So normally, talk a little bit of the budget preparation. So maybe we have a two-set budget preparation. One thing, you count a budget first. Okay, then you have to analyze. This is the optimistic scenario. What's the worst case scenario? If you cannot achieve, what will be next?
A lot of
Yeah, so a lot of people, for SME, easy, just budget, forecast. I want to achieve cash flow so much, I want to achieve revenue so much. But to them, all the strategy, thinking, business, all in the boss mind. Just do it. Top down, it could be. So our case last time, we from the bottom, we ask all the give us a budget. We expense budget, whatever. So finally we'll do a consolidation, then come master budget for approval. So moving forward, I think all this can be easily used ERP to do it lah. Budget, so you got the past data put in, but more important, you need to justify how this figure, right?
Okay, that's good. So, in your opinion, how should young professionals approach financial risk-taking in the tech-driven business landscape?
Okay, for the young professional, it's any profession, or just accountancy or whatever. Any, okay. So I think for the tech, I will say that now important thing is the cybersecurity first.
Cybersecurity.
So you need to have somehow knowledge of the cybersecurity knowledge. How are you going to protect your data? Instead of get the ransomware attack, then you lost your data. So my experience, we did encounter one experience before. So someone ransomware hacked into our financial system. So basically our past few years data have been gone. Okay, so then we check the backup rating. Unfortunately, also backup is not working. So it's very, very challenging for us. So what we do, we get the consultant help. Okay, so we rebuild the data again. So from GL data, then we rebuild the whole financial data again for 7 years. Lucky, we have a good team. Okay, so we managed to complete the whole thing within 3 months.
3 months.
Just get ready for audit. So from here experience, we learned that cybersecurity is very important. So how you want to protect data? Okay, example like where you store your data, especially the financial data. Okay, some people say I have where I locate in different place. Okay, some put in the cloud or whatever. So the other thing is a backup material, whether it's up to date or not. So whether it's usable. So you need to do an audit check. That's why internal audit also play a very important function. So internal audit need to check, I call IT audit, whether this disk or the tape your store can be restored, anything happen. So a lot of measurement method need to implement to take care of the cybersecurity, very important. Or else, I'll say it's a nightmare. Okay, on top of that, for the young professional, so also need to able to help the management, okay, look at all those investment. Again, example, the more important is cost benefit analysis. When you want to invest in certain thing, like example the CapEx means capital expenditure. Those are big item. EV, those are system. Okay, so you are able to analyze. Okay, compare the let's say CapEx and operation expenditure. So which will bring in the more benefit. Okay, so is outsourced to people or I own it. Yeah, so all this skill you need to have it to say that. So of course the risk management side that when you implement certain system, so you must try and error again. So I cannot say, hey, I just implement, I just run. But without evaluate, okay, whether this is your meet objective is workable or not. So a lot of evaluation need to have. Okay, so the skill, okay, example, must evaluate this project whether it bring it the ultimate benefit or not. It's what you want. Or else, I just do already. Hey, nothing, I don't care. After all these operation issues, but for finance, yes, I think finance nowadays not only look at the figure, you say that. So you must have some kind of the value added. Okay. So help the business, help the business people how to look at the revenue, everything. Okay, example, I show one case when you do forecast. Okay. Say back to talk about I increase 30% on this thing. Yes, you increase 30%. But who are your customers? So some businessmen, business group, I say business unit, they will look at your customer, 30%. But I will always challenge them, okay, you want to increase 30% from now to this figure. So the example 100 million to 200 million. So the difference is 100 million, right? So this 100 million, where from? So you need to analyze all your customer. Your customer, okay, I will say there are 3 types of customer. One customer almost like bankruptcy, no more or cease operation already. The other customer, yes, I still in business, but I don't want to grow. So the other one customer, I grow aggressively. So which customer you want to target? For sure, it's those are very aggressive one, right? So or else you want to increase 100 million, where you get this figure? So a lot of most of the time I say, I just want to increase without looking all this data. See? So for the finance people, okay, I will say added value not only just every month end I prepare a report, report the report, everything. Yes, yeah, this is suppose you need to do. But what's the add-on value to the management? Okay, I believe that some management, hey, my profit like that, why? So you're able to zoom in to analyze and understand why profit like that. Yeah, what's the detail analysis? So you need to have this. So of course this one, I think nowadays still a lot of people do in minority. Yeah, or just integrate certain systems. So I think moving forward, eventually this will be handled by machine or the automation. You know, talk about automation, talk about property process automation. I think you heard about all this. We're talking this in the accounting world with the auditor many years ago already. Unfortunately, I think today not many people really implement this. Yeah. So I think for the accounting to profession, okay, to implement ERP is, I would say, still in the very challenging stage. So unless you have a dedicated team to really zoom into look into all these things. So you cannot rely on the finance people who prepare the monthly report to help in. They will take out the most of their time to do that. So it will affect the normal daily operations as well. So, so the knowledge of the how to do ERP is very important also. Yeah.
Okay. So that's all for the questions. But for now, do you have any words to tell to our youngsters or the students out there?
Okay. For the student who study accountancy, so my advice that after you got your degree, it's possible. So then try to also do enroll some professional accountancy body to do the exam. Okay, so this will enhance the value of you as an accountancy profession. Yes, I agree that maybe in future it's very challenging when it comes to AI all these things, but I will say that they still need a lot of accountants at this moment. Okay, because in Malaysia they still started as accountant. As right now, you look at the whole audit firm, they are started accountants because most of them go to Singapore, go to other places. Okay, so as an accountant, so I think it's very challenging subject to study, but don't give up. So eventually, accounting is a need for most of the business. Okay, so but how you want to climb up to the higher level and become a strategy planner, I think it's important also. Yeah, so for a current student, my advice, okay, after complete your degree, try to actually enroll or sign up for some professional body, example like ACCA, CPA or something like that. Yeah. So I think this will enhance your value. So because in the when you want to work in big organization like MNC or the public listed company, I would say it's a requirement. Actually, you sign the strategy declaration at time. So normally you put there who and who, then what's your MIA number. Yeah, so it's important to create more value for you, for the student. Yeah.
Okay, understood. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So much.
That's all right.
So yeah, that's all for our
Okay.
session. Thank you.
Thank you.